Yo, what's up guys, Draconi here with another Dragon Ball Legends video, and today I'm gonna do my top 10 tier list for the end of August, or slash the new GT campaign that is going to start now. Before I start, a quick disclaimer as always, I don't own every single character here on this list, and I don't necessarily have them all at like really high stars, so there will be units that will perform either differently for me than for you guys, or I don't have them and have to see them in PvP fights against me and can only judge them based on my experience fighting them. So there will be units who will maybe see at a different spot than I do. And yeah, now that we got that out of the way, we can start with the list. I will start from the bottom this time. Last time I did it upwards because the meta didn't change much. So we'll start here at number 10 being Krillin. Krillin used to be like I think around 5 or 6 last time, and the reason I moved him down now is obviously we got new characters on the list, so he will maybe naturally move down a bit. But the best team in the game, or arguably best team in the game before Vegeta came out, was Frieza Saga with Krillin, or with Kaioken Goku instead of Krillin. And now the best team in the game is just simply clearly the Triple Ultra team, and therefore the Frieza Saga team sees less play, and therefore even Krillin sees less play. So I have to move him down a bit because of usage. I see him like I saw him maybe 2 times so far in this whole week ever since Vegeta came out. So not a lot of Krillins. And then the next thing is, in my experience fighting him against Krillin, is that I think now his individual stats, like first of all, the Frieza Saga team has always been like this, that Krillin individually was always bad, but he provided good healing, supporting in keeping the team alive long enough to be like worth using. And as long as he survives long, he's actually helping the team out quite well. But I think now with Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, who is the best burst damage dealer when he has his full unique gauge, and you for example switch out of Ultra Frieza and then you're in with one of these two, if this guy then shows up and starts spamming cards and using a switch attack, these two can't really take the hits. Like Namek Goku, type disadvantage, obviously gonna take a lot of damage from it, and then you have Krillin, who not only has only 107% damage guard, so his defense is already bad as it is, but he doesn't get the Zenkai bench. That's number 2. And then number 3, if you're building the Frieza Saga team here, you don't have a Zenkai bench for these two that covers Krillin as well. Like for him, you have the green, the Kaioken Goku. That works. He buffs Frieza Saga as a Z ability, but for Namek Goku, you don't have that. So Namek Goku gets like, I don't know, Super Saiyan 4 Goku or LF Bardock as his Zenkai bench, which Z abilities him, but not Krillin. So Krillin will lose out on at least 1 Z ability. 2 if you don't give him, if you make the last bench character also Zenkai bench for Namek Goku or somebody else. So he won't have the best stats on the team. And with this guy doing as much damage as he does, you will burn through the KO guard of this team. And once you do that, it opens up the rush for any of these two once this guy is not right. You know, if you switch out of Frieza and then start rushing one of these two, someone's dying. And most of the time it's obviously Krillin, because you're not switching Namek Goku into a rush. You're not sacking Namek Goku for the safety of Krillin. You're just not gonna do that. And if this were to happen, because you made a mistake for example, then you have only these two, and at that point you were kind of screwed. But either way, Krillin is losing a lot of value then, and that's I think the main difference between now and back then, because my Frieza for example does a lot of damage. It's more long combos and that he does that do a lot of damage, while Vegeta goes in for the quick burst. So this is more of an issue for this Frieza Saga team in particular, I would say, which is why I put Krillin now to the number 10 spot. Doesn't mean that the team is bad. I mean, that's still the second best team in the game, probably. or third best. So yeah, Krillin at number 10, he's still useful. I think he's, again, when it comes to being what the support type is supposed to be, I think he's still pretty good. Was unfortunate that he's one of the more toxic teams in the game, but yeah, Krillin at number 10. Moving on to number 8 and 9, and I can already see people heavily disagree with this, what I'm about to do, but I'm putting the Tech Force at number 8 and Kefla at number 9. I will start with Kefla first. Now, to make this very clear, I don't think Kefla is a bad unit, okay? I don't think Kefla is bad, I don't think she's horrible. In fact, I think she's one of the not only more healthier releases we got, but also one of the best designs releases we got. It's just, I think right now, she's not in the best position when it comes to teams and synergy with the best teams. Like, all of Kefla's teams were always an inferior version to the best teams in the game. That has always been the case, and is the same thing now. But it doesn't also help that she has like not the best defenses, and if her team is most of the time her, Namegoku, and the third unit, like maybe Feedku or Kaioken Goku, and it's just like, it's just, she does good damage. Again, she is a good unit, she does good damage, she does her role very well, but if she gets hit, it's not looking too great. And I don't think her teams really cover her perfectly, so that I would say it's a really good team. On top of that, I don't see her that often as well, so it's kind of tough for me to place her really high right now. Although I don't think she's bad. Like, I genuinely don't think that she's a bad unit. That's why I still have her on the list, and I don't think this is like she's falling off a cliff right now. Like, she's number 9 here, but she's individually still good. Like, I would consider this, like, if you look at, for example, here, the Ultra characters, every one of them has been like top 1 or top 2 on release. If you were to order all these units, there will be a last place, no matter how you look at it. Even if you would just look at these 3, there will be a worse Ultra out of the 3. There just will be. Doesn't mean that one of these 3 are bad. And I think the same thing is here with Kefla. She's not a bad unit, but for me right now, she is, like, for the top 10 at least, the second worst unit on here, arguably, okay? If you want to put her higher, I would even agree to put her at number 7. Like, she's not bad. I think 7 to 9 is the range where I would see her. I personally didn't have I really didn't know where to place her the best. I've decided for the 9th spot. You can put her at 8, you can put her even at 7. That's the highest I would go with her though. And then we have the Tag Force, and I think I view them better than most people do, and yes, it could be because of bias, because I'm a Tag 4, I'm a Super Saiyan 4 fan, and Vegeta's on there. That's the best combination of 2 words for me, and I have been a fan from the Tag Force ever since they released, so if you want to call this a biased thing from my side, that's fine. But the reason why I put her above Kefla is, first I want to talk about one thing. While I think their unique equipment is good, like, obviously that's why they're here, I would have preferred a bit if they had a Zenkai, and the reason why is why the equipment covers a lot of things. I mean, again, I have it up here, they're really good things. Again, protect hand on attack switch, notify at downgrades and normal conditions, they draw 1 card on entry, switch gauge plus 80%, like, all good things, but there are things in their kit that need to be fixed as well. Like, for example, their green card not having cover null, but them just lowering only 30 key on entry, like they should have done a bit more disrupt. Or Goku's side not having card draw speed, and that's something Zenkai would have fixed better than a Plat or unique equipment, because the unique equipment, like, it would have been a whole paragraph on abilities to fix the Tag Force completely, and I think Zenkai would have fixed that issue, although I would have been worried that the Zenkai, like the last Zenkais, don't quite have the right stats and defenses for them, so... But, yeah, the reason why I put there about Kefla, I think the synergy with the best units in the game, except for Ultra Frieza, is just better. Like, them and Vegeta work very well because they reduce sub counts when they, with Vegeta's side. Then also when they get ulted or rushed, again reduce their sub counts by 10. They see you, they lock in the enemy, so that's really good. I like their green card abilities in destroying or gaining Dragon Balls, and there's also one thing which I think many people are talking about, how they don't have cover on entry and call this, oh, this is bad for the tag force, and I'm like, if you think about it, it's really not that big of a deal, because, so here's the thing how you play with the tag force, in my opinion. I think this is the best and right thing to play them. They get switch gauge by 80% when they enter the battlefield. This also includes if you start with the tag force. And 8% switch gauge means if you're using one card, you're getting your full switch gauge. So if you start with the tag force and you, let's just say, fight against Kefla and you land the first strike card on her, you tag switching and you have your cover mode. Bam, that easy. Okay, then let's just say you didn't manage to land your combo and you're switching out of the tag force. Doesn't matter, because the next time they enter the battlefield, they get another 80% switch gauge, which means their switch gauge is full. So if we, for example, using this Vegeta and using a blast card and then come in, tag switch and immediately and then keep attacking, you have in cover null, you continue your combo, no problem. So the whole cover null thing is really, if you're starting with the tag force as you should, the only time the no cover null is a big issue is on their green card, because it doesn't give cover null. But other than that, it's really not big of a deal. It really isn't. And then later on, if you kill one enemy, okay, they don't have any cover null at all, but they only have 2 cover changes, and one of them is already on the battlefield. Like if you're fighting this team and Frieza's already on the battlefield and Namek Goku is dead, you know they only have a blast cover chain. So you can use the unit and use your strike cards before, and if they switch in before you use one of your blasts, you're free to combo. And also, it's nice that Vegeta's side, and this is why I like them really much, not only does he reduce sub counts with the first card, which helps well with this Vegeta who wants to switch in and out and everything, but you're also cancelling all your attribute downgrades in normal conditions, while also having your unique equipment giving then attribute downgrades and normal conditions immunity. So what you can do now is you continue your combo and you can completely ignore all the art cost increase from these two. So they're a good tool to combo against the team that's currently the best. And again, they work well with Namek Goku, they work well with this Vegeta. I think they do more things. They're also versatile with being like not that far off blast stat from their strike stats. I'm losing them on a more blast based setup and they're doing fine. So really, if I look at everything, what they do and offer, I think they're a bit better than Kefla right now. Not maybe because of the damage, maybe not, but everything else. And yes, I know Kefla can also be immune to attribute downgrades. I didn't forget that. But with them it's a bit faster because it's just one card and you do tag switch immediately. And you also have card protection for free time accounts. So yeah, really good things for the tag force. I like them as they are, and I think with the newer releases for GT they only will get better. So the tag force is number 8. I wouldn't put them higher and I wouldn't put them lower than 9. Alright, so moving on to 6/7, which is Kaioken Goku and Feed-Ku. You can also swap the positions of these two. Feed-Ku, I will start with Feed-Ku first because there's not really a lot to say. Despite being 4 greens in the game, Feed-Ku is just providing really good support. and he's tanking so well, and he's the best versatile support type unit right now in the game, that I can't really put him lower or necessarily like more higher. He's just solid all around in what he has to do. Like, this is basically Krillin with a bit less crazy support but better survivability. And being on a Saiyan Saga team means if these two play together, you have Yajirobe, bunch of green cards, which if you for example play these three together, more AoE greens for them. If you're playing these three, more AoE greens for him, the Solar Flare. Fiku just does a really great job. Not really much else I have to say about him, because there's really not much to say about him. He just tanks really well, and that's helpful against Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta as well. He can work with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, he can work with pretty much anybody. So yeah, that's Fiku at number 7. And then we move to Kaioken Goku, who used to be number 3 on my list before. Now the reason why he dropped down, for one, Vegeta taking his Red Saiyan spot on the best team in the game that he was, and basically almost every other team. You can put Vegeta over Kaioken Goku. And then number 2, and this is more so for an issue for Namegoku, is his defensive gauge. Because here's the thing with defensive gauges, and this has been forever the case. Like, this is not a Kaioken Goku specific situation, this is everyone who has a defensive gauge, like Super Baby 2, or for example, Sword of Hope Trunks. The more time goes on during the Dragon Ball Legends lifespan, and units lose their defenses, a defensive unique gauge will get worse because you're taking way more damage before you trigger it. And this is the case with Kaioken Goku. He's now off boost, so he has less defenses, so he triggers his unique gauge way later and takes more damage before he triggers the unique gauge. And for example, with a unit like Vegeta, who can do good burst, you have to switch out a lot quicker sometimes than you want to. And the next thing, which also comes in with Vegeta, the switch attack ignores his gauge. So you can do switch attack damage on him, just like with Ultra Frieza and his Death Beam, and ignore it. And these two play in the team, so you can kinda play around the gauge entirely if you want to, and that makes Kaioken Goku just worse. It's just how it is. Doesn't mean that he's a bad unit. I mean, he provides still good things with. I think he's also supporting lowering sub counts, but it's just he kinda got replaced, as well as having a bit of more struggle now. So I'm putting it at number 6, or swappable 7 with Fiku. Nonetheless, he's still good. Like, he's not a bad unit, but this is where he is right now. And then we're moving on to number 5, which is Super Vegito. This is also a unit where I don't have many things to say, other than he is still the best defensive unit in the game. The fact that he's 10 time accounts type neutral means Vegeta doesn't just nuke him, which is a good thing. His damage is okay, but nothing crazy. And there's nothing else to say about him, really. That's just the thing he does. He does this thing great with tanking and healing, coming back early with subcount reduction, and so on and so on and so on and so on. I think his best team with Namegoku got hurt a little bit because Vegeta, obviously, which is maybe why I have him like 5 instead of 4. But he's still good. I even could say you could swap him with number 4, but I personally decided to leave it at 5, and yeah, nothing else to add on Super Vegito. Sorry if some of these units I don't really add anything to say because they are out so long or don't have many things. Like, Super Vegito doesn't do many things, but the things that he does are very good. It's just how Vegito is. So Vegeta at number 5, great unit, great plat equipment for him. I'm very glad that he's as good as he is. And then we move into the number 4, which is Saiyan Saga Vegeta, which you can swap with Vegito if you want to. Now I've been saying this for I think the last 2 tier lists. Vegeta, all he needed as a team where he is not just the third character that you slap on, he has to be an actual unit on the team, where the team is focused about him also being good. With the Saiyan Saga team, it has never been the case because this was a more strike-based team and he was kind of more of the safety unit. On a powerful opponent team, he had no Zenkai bench, so while he was on a blast-based team, he didn't perform the best because no Zenkai bench. Now with this Vegeta coming out, he has a blast-based setup, where he gets a Zenkai bench, where you can focus around him a bit more, and then he performs better because he can fill his unique gauge faster within a blast-based setup. That's something I've always been saying. His key charge unique gauge is better with blast cards. If you have a team of blast units and you draw a lot of blast cards, it works better for his unique gauge to fill up. He does also do longer combos with that. So you could play him together with Vegeta and Feedku, or you could play him together with the Tag Force. I have been doing that recently and it works really well. He does his job. Obviously he took a bit of a hit because of the being off boost, but he fulfills his role of being a revival unit with, I would say, okay disruptive abilities. I'm saying okay because sometimes you don't get unique gauge to fill up in time. And providing green card post-transformation, also lowering sub-counts on sidesteps and then post-transformation on his first two cards, works well with this Vegeta. So it's just a good combination of these two working together, which is why I have him at number 4. This is the highest position he will probably ever gonna get because there's no purple, it's not getting better than this probably, and if it does, then probably because one of the top 3 is getting countered to oblivion, which would have to be Namek Goku, otherwise it doesn't really, it would rather affect him negatively if any of these two get more countered than Namek Goku. So Vegeta at number 4, moving on to number 3, being Namek Goku. Not gonna spend a lot of time talking about him. He's on the best team in the game. And while Vegeta hurts him a lot, he works also with Vegeta. And he provides so much value outside of damage. Like he's healing, he's supporting, providing KO guard, lock in, fainting, every green card for priority. He does way too much to not put in at number 3, that's just how it is. And why he gets hurt, which is why he's not number 2 anymore. It's not enough to push him like really down. Like if he wasn't working so well with the other two, I would put him way lower, but he works well with them, so it's gonna stay there. So yeah, Namek Goku at number 3. Don't want to talk about this unit a lot because at this point I've talked too much about him in other videos, and again, I still wish this guy to be gone because I think his mechanics hurt the game more than it helps. But yeah, this is how the game is, this is where he is as a spot. Let's move into number 2 and number 1, which I was thinking about it a while, but then I came to a very obvious conclusion, I would say, with Vegeta being at 2 and Frieza being at number 1. Gonna talk about Frieza first because he's like Namek Goku, not much to talk about. He's the most free unit in the game. He works well with the best other units in the game. He's on the best team in the game. And as long as he doesn't have a really good counter, he's kind of the best unit in the game. It's a very simple but obvious conclusion. It's just how it is. And yeah, I really don't want to add anything else because everybody knows what he does and why he's number 1 in the game. Really don't need to explain why for him. And then we have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, which I want to talk about a bit more because he's new. Now, the first thing is, and this is something I have noticed and I don't think many people really pay attention to that, one of his abilities that I found really strong, and I really didn't pay attention to this. On ally battlefield entry, which includes himself by the way, Next activated arts damage plus 20% up to 100. That is stacking up way faster than you might think. Like, I had one situation, and this is on my Vegeta Clan PvP video that I uploaded recently. I managed to stack this up because I didn't manage to get a priority with Vegeta at all. I didn't even come to attack with him. I switched my characters like 5 times. And then it was just one time. And this was an 8-star Namek Goku. My Vegeta's at 10 stars with no Zenkai buff. And this Goku had a Zenkai buff and everything. I used one blast card and one-shotted Namek Goku instantly. Because I stacked this whole thing up. I was like shocked when I noticed this, and I checked his kit in and then saw this and I was like, oh! Now that's a bit harder than a bit more powerful than I thought it was, because I thought realistically you're gonna swap in with Vegeta and use combos so often that this doesn't stack as much, but it actually stacks up. It actually, you can actually build it up pretty fast, especially if you have a team with this guy and these guys and reducing all their sub counts together. It's getting fast. It actually is. But the reason why I have it at number 2 and not number 1, or even arguably number 1 reason Feed Coup exists. He doesn't hurt him offensively to impact Vegeta, but he can tank his hits unless he's using the switch attack and then spams cards, because then he's type neutral, and that's another story. But type disadvantage, he's not breaking through Feed Coup like easily. And then the next thing is, and I think this is describing the situation with these two the best. So Frieza is like, if you have to describe it as a line, he's just a flat line like this. If you see my mouse, that's just Frieza, a flat line doing everything that he does consistently, not really changing. Vegeta is also a flat line who is, I would say, lower. Like if Frieza is here, starting here, Vegeta starting here, and then full unique age spikes up here, and then goes down again, and then back here, up. Like Vegeta's an up and down character, and while Frieza, I would say, is a more consistent one. But I think his consistency is better than Vegeta's. And Vegeta just spikes up sometimes for a few seconds above Frieza, and then goes back down. So that's how I see the difference between these two. This is why I think Frieza is better right now. Could obviously change in the future. We don't know what new units we're gonna get. I like this Vegeta a lot. I think he's not toxic. He's broken, but not toxic. I think the most toxic thing about him is probably that he increases your arts cost whenever he gets hit. But other than that, I don't think he has any toxic abilities. Like having endurance and uncancelable endurance against, or at least against blues and ultimates, is not for me a toxic ability. I don't think his switch attack is necessarily toxic, because you can still play the game against him. Like, he's not like Vegeta makes you unable to play the game, unlike sometimes this guy does. So again, I don't think he is toxic. I think he's a good release. Maybe a bit of bias because I'm Vegeta Clan main. I'm a GT main. He's on both. It works for me, again, but this is how I see him. He's at number 2. Again, I like him a lot. And then we go to the mentioned list, which are units I just want to talk about. None of them is making the top 10, or arguably top 10. Just want to talk about them. I will start with this Frieza. He used to be in my top 10. He's now not anymore because Vegeta just nukes him. And he can't do anything about it, so no proper team where he can be used as well. He's now off the list for me, even though his uncancelable endurance null is a useful tool. He himself is not good enough anymore, but I think he had still a solid unique equipment. Then we have Red Cooler, also lacking a team. Wasn't good enough individually, I would say. Not bad, but not good enough individually to matter. So, also not making the list. Then you have MUI, who also was like on my list last time, but at the number 10 spot. And the reason why he dropped down out of the top 10. Now, you would say, okay, he's a blue character, so he can help against this guy, and it's like, yes, but also no, because with his full unique gauge, he's completely immune to his unique gauge. So that's bad for MUI. If this guy's switch attacking and spamming cards, that's also not good for MUI, he's not tanking that. And then next, and this is I would say also a bigger thing, the attack force with a full hand using a blue card will one-shot this guy early game if you're not careful. Like I had the scenario, I saw like a 12-star MUI pre-transform. He tried to go for a combo, he missed, he had no vanish, I switched into attack force, used one blue card, KO got is gone. Immediately. That was in the first 10 seconds of the match. And unlike Kefla and Vegeta, who get more lesser endurance null attacks later on in the game, or don't hit hard enough, the attack force kinda do with reducing, or being, how do you call it, like, I think damage cut penetration is on their thing. Yeah, minus 40% to enemy sustained damage cut effects is kinda a tough thing. I think the blue card as well, like here, also minus 30%, so they are ignoring a lot of your damage guard with the blue card and hitting quite hard with it, so MUI, I would say, while Frieza being the biggest threat, obviously, I think the attack force are the second biggest threat to MUI right now. And what's also interesting, and that hurts MUI as well, if he's in the transform state and he has like his green card and it's like in the back like hee hee haha you can't attack me, I counter green you into a blue card. Yeah, the Goku side is sealing blue cards on strike and blast cards use. So you could throw in a strike, you can throw in a blast, he will counter you and then can't do anything to chain it because your blue cards are sealed. So yeah, I think another bad character for MUI, it's just not the meta for him, and as long as the meta is so green dominant and it doesn't have a good purple unit to cover him, he will be not good enough. And speaking of purple, Evo, why do I have Evo here? We now got a red unit that is covering for him, so I wanted to talk about him because this is the last time Evo will ever get like any help from another character. And I will have to say, he redeemed himself from being useless, because I would say that before Vegeta came out, he was straight up a useless character in the meta. Now I would say he redeemed himself from being useless to being a really bad meat shield in Vegeta clan. That's all he does. He is just there to eat hits and eventually die if he can't tank well enough. That's Evo's role right now, and I'm saying this because I have used him on Vegeta clan, and the more I used him, I came to a conclusion. I wish this guy was a defensive unit. I really wish, because if he was a defensive unit, not only I think Vegeta clan would be right now a really good team, but I also would genuinely say the meta would have been a lot different, especially for this guy. That poor MUI. Like, I hate MUI, but I don't think he deserved the treatment, and he as well. Like, very unfortunate times, but yeah, I just want to talk about Evo the last time here. I probably won't have to talk about him again unless he gets their equipment for him, but until then, Evo is just dead in the water. Or Namegoku's out of the game, maybe then we'll talk about him, but even then I would say he's not good enough offensively, so I wouldn't really talk about him anymore. But I was just really quickly wanted to mention him, and everybody else kinda doesn't exist anyway. Not that Evo exists, but I wanted to talk about him. Yeah, but this is my top 10. Let me know what you guys think about the order and the list. And see you guys in the next video. Have a look.